Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to bring to you the different juicers I've acquired over the years. I've been juicing for about 10 years now, and I have gone through different upgrades, and there's different things that I like about the juicers, and I will go over that in this video. But I wanted to do this so that, to bring education and awareness to juicing, that it doesn't have to be expensive. You can get started with any juicer and, improve your health. Now, starting over on this side, which is my right side, this is an infusion juicer. Now, I don't even think they make this juicer anymore. It's something similar on the market by a different name. However, this was a centrifugal juicer with the name Infusion. This was my first juicer I ever bought, and was introduced to juicing. Comes with a book and everything. It was great. I loved it. I love juicing. I fell in love with juicing using this one. And the price point at the time, like I said, about 10 years ago, this was like $100. And I bought it off of infomercial, actually, for $100. So this was my first introduction. This is a centrifugal juicer by Infusion Juicer. This one here is a cold press juicer, and I will go over that in the video. This is made by Kuvings. This was the first introduction of a whole fruit juicer, and that meant that you didn't have to chop up your fruit. It had a big hopper to put your fruit into, and you didn't have to do a lot of cutting. And this was upright. This one, it has a big chute as well, but this uses blades. This here is a horizontal juicer. This one here was inexpensive. It's called Sarago. I found it on Amazon. Let me go back. This price point here was about, at the time, this was maybe 8 years ago, about $500. Then with this one here, this is on Amazon. This is a horizontal, as I stated, and it runs about $100. But this is really great at juicing greens. However, this requires a lot of prep work. This requires you to do a lot of chopping and making things small, because the opening is really small. So let me show you. Very small opening, okay? As opposed to, these are pretty large openings. These are pretty big. Let me show you the opening. So, very big opening. Lastly, this is my new addition. This is a Nama J2 juicer. Now this one here, as you see, this is the hopper. Look how big this hopper is, everyone. It's huge. I mean, huge. What you do is you load all your recipes, like your leafy greens, your fruits, whatever, and your vegetables, into here, and you close it, and then you turn it on, and it does the rest. So very little chopping has to be done. Very little prep work has to be done with this one. This is the latest juicer on the market, and it has a huge hopper, bigger than this one. So this one here I used more so at work, because it's lightweight and inexpensive, and I could just leave it at work. I'd have to worry about, if it broke or anything. It was something that it was easily replaced. So this is why I have this one. So as I stated, this was the least expensive starting out. This was my expensive one at $500. This one, again, on Amazon for about $100. This one I bought directly from Nama website. This here price point, again, is back at $500. Now, I do not recommend people to start out buying, these expensive juicers here. If you're not into juicing, I would start out with the less expensive ones. And if you see that you're regularly juicing after 6 months or a year, then upgrade, because the upgrade will save you a lot of time, and it's money well spent. Now, all of these still work, even though they may look cruddy and they're well used. They all still work. But however, I have fell in love with this Nama J2 juicer, okay? And I follow a lady on YouTube called Fully Raw Christina, because she's a raw foodist, and I do raw food as well. And she demonstrated this, and I fell in love, and I just had to have it. So it's been a time saver. This one, I can juice, batch juice, and what that means is I create a large volume of juice. That way I can go ahead and store it in the refrigerator. I don't have to worry about, just constantly standing there waiting to juice for an hour. I can really get things done in a short amount of time. Now, let's go back to the Fusion Juicer. The Infusion Juicer, say that 5 times fast, is a centrifugal juicer. And what that means is that it has a blade that spins fast. This is the blade, and the blade sits there and it spins very quickly and shreds the food in order to extract the juice. Now, not very efficient, however, it gets the job done with a little bit of manipulating, like greens and things like that. If you're juicing something that's low water content, such as leafy greens, kale, spinach, anything like that, you have to feed it along with something that's juicy, an apple, cucumber, celery, so that it will, when it's shredding, it will loosen up the greens in the blade to get the green juice. But you waste a lot of your greens doing that in a centrifugal. However, starting out, it worked fine. Like I said, I used this for about a year or two before I upgraded. Now, for the Kuvings juicer that I have, this one is cold press. These 3 here are all cold press, meaning they are pressed juices, and I'll show you what that means. Take this off, and this is the auger. So this auger here will press, when it turns, it presses the fruit and vegetables. So that's why it's cold pressed, because it's pressing, it's twisting and pressing out the fruit, the juices. Now this will juice greens. However, when you're working with an upright juicer, this is the pulp, where the pulp comes out of. The juice comes this way, the pulp comes out this way. Pulp will get stuck in here because it's upright. So it juices greens, but I have found that I have to take it apart, pull out the greens, put it back together, and finish juicing. So that can be time consuming. But other than that, I did love this juicer. When I bought this one for my job, I bought a horizontal because I did not want to have to worry about taking this apart and cleaning it out, number one. Number two, this is $500. I'm not taking a $500 juicer to work. We're not doing that. However, this one was very easy to take apart. So you just push the button here, pull it out, and that was it. This auger, by it being lengthwise, same thing. It turns and press the fruits and vegetables. Okay. This here will work well for juicing greens because it's horizontal. It doesn't get a chance to get clogged. Okay. The reason why is that the food does not have to bend to go out, because this chute here is where the pulp comes out of, and then below here is where the juice comes out of. Okay, so the pulp here, juice here, food does not have to bend, therefore it doesn't get clogged. And again, this was for work. This price point was around $100, so I didn't mind taking the time to juice at work. Even though this is a smaller hopper, it took me longer. I just make sure I cut up everything and then go ahead and juice. It took me probably, maybe 10 minutes to juice everything. Now on to this one. This here also is a cold press juicer. And this is an auger similar to this one. And same thing, it will press the juice. However, for this juicer here, it doesn't tend to get clogged with greens and different other vegetables. Although it's an upright like this one, they have upgraded the mechanism in here so that fruit doesn't have to, or the vegetables don't have to make a 90-degree turn and clog up the juicer. Now this side is where the juice comes out of. This side here is the pulp. So the pulp comes out of this side, the juice comes out of this side. So they took this model here and really, even though they're two different companies, they took the idea of this one and upgraded it over here. This here, you don't have to worry about clogging. The cleaning time on this is similar to this, as well as this, because cold press juicers have extra parts, as opposed to this one only has a few. And I will show you that as well. So for this centrifugal juicer, there are several parts, but it's fairly easy to clean. You have your plunger, your top. This is your shredder basket and your juice collector. Now there's an extra spot back here in the back where you collect your pulp. I usually put a bag, one of those produce bags in it, and that way when I finish, all I got to do is pull the produce bag out, dump it, put a new one in. That way it's one less thing for me to clean, and then you just put everything back together. This may require the soap and water. Everything else you can just rinse out with water. Make sure you get the food particles out of it. You just pop it back in. You put the top on, lock it in, the plunger back, and that's pretty much it as far as this one. So it's fairly easy. This one here, these three have more parts because they're cold press. So you still have the plunger. This is the top or the hopper, the auger. You have a sieve or a basket, and this is a scraper that it sits in. So what happens is when it's turning, it scrapes the sides of your basket. So you have your basket, and then you have the scraper, and then you have your juice collector. So yes, there's more parts to this one. But this one here, again, a lot of times you can do just a general rinse of these parts. The basket, again, is something I probably would use more likely soap and water and scrub it, okay, to get all the food particles, because this is a strainer and tends to get food stuck in this. So you put it back in. Drop in your auger, put your top back on, and your plunger. So yes, more parts. This one here is pretty simple to use or to clean because the whole mechanism comes out. There's a button here, you press it, you turn, the whole thing comes out. So with this one, you have to take off the pulp. The pulp comes out of here, pulp dispenser. Then the basket, see how much smaller this is? This is your sieve or basket. Then you have your auger, and this is where the juice comes out of here. So it doesn't collect juice. The juice strains out of this little hole out of here. So there's no juice collector like this one and this one. These two have juice collectors. There's no juice collector. This put everything back together. So you put the juice collector under here and the pulp collector under here. Again, this is one of these where I would take a bag, just a produce bag, everyone, drop it in here, and then I put it here to collect the pulp so that when I'm finished, all I have to do is take this out. I don't have to clean this, but I do have to clean the juice. Okay, so again, so there's a few more parts to clean in a cold press. Same thing for this juicer. This is similar to this one. We have a hopper. Everything comes apart together as one. This one is all one piece, similar to this. Basically the best of two worlds. That's what that is. This is the hopper. It's huge, everyone. That's the hopper. Oh, by the way, this is the plunger. You do have to take the plunger out and clean it, okay? This is a plunger. I have not had to use this plunger. I don't know why it's there, but hey, it's there. But hopper, auger, sieve or basket, and scraper. And then the juice collector. So again, like these have more parts. Alrighty, so that's the parts and that's the difference in each of one of these juicers. I'm going to do a video demonstration with a juice recipe after this video. I will post it after this video, demonstrating this one here. Maybe I will do a comparison video later. I'm not quite sure. Might do one later demonstrating how these work as well. But again, this is like something you would start out with over here. Starting out juicing, inexpensive, centrifugal, works great. Just have to manipulate the greens to get the juice out of it. Once you find that you've been juicing for a little bit and you like it, yeah, upgrade to a juicer. Spend the extra money. This is around $100. This is around $500. This is back at $100. Although they do make horizontal juicers that are more expensive. But for this price point, I have found this works very well. I recommend it to all my friends. Anybody who wants to start out juicing, I always tell them start with this one because it juices greens really well and the price point is great. On Amazon, it's like $100. Those who are big fans of juicing and you want a batch juice, meaning you want to do large volumes of juice at a time, that would be this one. This one here, I fell in love with it. This is my new addition and I love it. I will be bringing a video demonstrating this juicer. It's just, I can't say enough about it, everyone. It's great. But I just wanted to do a video basically covering my journey of juicing and the different juices I've used over the years. So with that being said, everyone, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for my juicing video.